On December 15, 1999, the hills of Vargas State in Venezuela were experiencing a regular day when suddenly, residents felt the ground beneath them shaking. On December 15, 1999, the hills of Vargas State in Venezuela were experiencing a regular day when suddenly, residents felt the ground beneath them shaking. Initially, they thought it was just an ordinary earthquake and attempted to get to open ground. Little did they know that something far more devastating was underway. Soon, the ground started to tremble intensely, and in a short span, the hillsides began to collapse. Within moments, thousands of homes and their residents were buried under a thick layer of mud and debris. This was the Vargas tragedy, which claimed around 30,000 lives. Similarly, in 1998, the United States was hit by Hurricane Mitch, which took nearly 11,000 lives, and between 2010 and 2011, East Africa experienced a severe drought, causing millions to face extreme hunger. Historically, landslides, floods, and droughts were often considered acts of God, but what if I told you that all these events had a scientific explanation? A puzzle that scientists have spent their lives trying to solve, hoping that humanity might one day predict and possibly prevent such catastrophes. And shockingly, predictions now suggest that we are on the brink of another such disaster. Hello everyone, I am Kaushik, and let's dive into another episode. Friends, this is the Pacific Ocean, Earth's largest ocean, and the root cause behind many of these catastrophic events lies hidden here. To understand it, we must go back a bit in history. In 1895, during a severe famine caused by continuous droughts, India's people suffered immensely. However, while the British government in India did little to aid, a man sitting in London, Sir Gilbert Walker, observed this tragedy and was deeply moved. Walker, a mathematician, noticed a pattern in these recurring calamities in India. He hypothesized that if he could solve this pattern, he might save millions of lives affected by natural disasters globally. With this goal, he came to India in 1903. Impressed by his work, the British government appointed him as Director General of the India Meteorological Department in 1904. Walker spent the next 20 years gathering data on natural disasters such as droughts, floods, landslides, and cyclones, as well as atmospheric elements like air pressure, temperature, and humidity. He observed patterns. For instance, when heavy rainfall occurred over the eastern Pacific, regions in the west like Asia and Australia experienced severe drought and heat. Conversely, when these western regions saw rain, places like North and South America endured dry, hot conditions with wildfires. This mirror image pattern intrigued Walker, leading him to publish his findings, which he called the Southern Oscillation. Although Walker identified this peculiar pattern, he couldn't solve its underlying mystery. He was close to a breakthrough when he passed away in 1958. Scientists worldwide then continued his work, attempting to uncover the scientific reasons behind these disasters. Finally, a Swedish meteorologist, Jacob Birkins, examined Walker's data and pinpointed a cause linking all these events back to the Pacific Ocean. In 1960, Birkins published his findings, stating that fluctuations in pressure, temperature, and wind patterns over the Pacific were responsible for major global weather events. This discovery, which came to be known as the El Niño Southern Oscillation, ENSO, revolutionized meteorology. With this knowledge, governments can now predict these destructive events and take precautions, saving countless lives and mitigating damage. So, what exactly did Birkins discover? He noticed that unusual rainfall or drought conditions in different countries were significantly influenced by trade winds. As Earth rotates, gases in the atmosphere rise due to the heat from the sun, cooling as they reach the upper atmosphere, then descending again, creating wind patterns around the globe. In the Pacific Ocean, these trade winds generally blow from east to west, helping to form rainy clouds that travel to Asia and bring the monsoon season. However, these trade winds change direction periodically, leading to one of three phases: normal, El Niño, or La Niña. The ENSO cycle's most significant phase is El Niño, where these winds reverse direction, blowing from west to east, carrying rain from Asia to the Americas. This results in droughts in Asia and heavy rains and cold conditions in the Americas. El Niño is responsible for many natural disasters, from floods to wildfires, that devastate economies and ecosystems. Peru is one of the hardest hit countries during El Niño, as it relies heavily on ocean upwelling, a process that brings nutrient-rich water to the surface, supporting the fishing industry. El Niño disrupts this upwelling, impacting marine life and causing economic losses for Peru's fishermen. El Niño events occur approximately every 2 to 7 years and can be highly destructive. For example, in 1822, El Niño caused severe rain in the United States, leading to widespread disease outbreaks and thousands of deaths. However, even the havoc caused by El Niño pales compared to the third phase of ENSO, La Niña. During La Niña, trade winds intensify, leading to extreme rain and floods in the western Pacific regions, including Asia and Australia, while the eastern Pacific experiences dry conditions. La Niña was the driving force behind disasters such as the 1999 landslide in Venezuela's Vargas state, which claimed around 30,000 lives, and the historic floods in Pakistan in 2010, which killed nearly 2,000 people. In Australia, the 2010-2011 La Niña floods led to billions of dollars in losses. India also faces heavy rains during La Niña, resulting in destructive floods, particularly in states like Assam, Bihar, and Uttar Pradesh, where hundreds of lives are lost. Today, the world is once again on high alert as the World Meteorological Organization recently warned that there is a 70% chance that La Niña will impact the Indian subcontinent by the end of 2024, bringing heavy rains and potential floods. While historic disasters were difficult to predict, Sir Gilbert Walker and Jacob Birkin's discoveries have enabled us to anticipate these weather events more accurately. So, friends, what do you think? Has India learned from past disasters, and are we prepared for the potential impacts of La Niña? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.